I have this DBX compressor that is my friend's, but I am using it because he doesn't. I haven't had it hooked up since I moved into this studio, so I'm going to do that today. It's super easy. I don't know why I haven't done it. Literally just need to plug it in. Although, I'm unsure if this will make the cut, because I need to get it from here into the focus right here. So, yeah. In fact, I'm quite confident it won't, but I also have this cable that I don't know where it comes from. So I'm going to try to figure that out. Another cable. Of that. So many cables. What's what here? Oh, this should be going underneath there. That's not good. Just made this all worse. So there's like a lot of debate in the audio world about whether you should have outboard gear. This is outboard gear, having this. You get people who are like, you need outboard gear. Oops. Because it makes your stuff sound better. But I mean, does it? I think what I like about having outboard gear of some form, whether that's synths or guitar pedals, or anything really, is that you have to commit. Like, once you record it with that thing, like that's that, you can't change it. Whereas plugins, you can obviously kind of tweak to your heart's content, which is awesome for some stuff, but it can also be kind of maddening if you just like, yeah, if you can't like stop, then it becomes kind of a problem, I guess, because you need to be able to just like, I'm done here, this is enough. And I think sometimes if you have like unlimited choices and possibilities, like that's problematic, because like, when do you stop? Okay, I feel like I haven't really progressed at all. Now I'm gonna have to move this to figure out which one's which. Okay, this is output. It's the wrong one. Such a doofus. And then line level output. Okay, satisfying clicks. Let's see if it works. Oops, that one. Nice, looks good. We love this thing. Very nice. Just run it. Alright, I've been mixing, as I do. As you might be aware by now if you've been watching for any amount of time. Lots of mixing. I'm about to record or film some ads for Facebook and Instagram. Just kind of, just marketing, right? So maybe I'll include a video of that in this if I remember or can be bothered, and both potentially. So I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just gonna film a couple and then just make some ads, because it's easy to relax when things are good. Like when business is coming, it's all great, but then inevitably, you have a dip and then you stress out. You're like, ah. So just trying to stay on top of things as a adult. That's me, an adult. And then, what am I doing? I just have so many mixes right now that I need to get through. I think I'd like to do a bit of work on a instrumental song, because Incognito Mode is just chugging along. That's my instrumental music project. You can check that out on all platforms. For me, the biggest driver of growth with that has just been releasing lots of music and lots of high quality music. It's just sort of worked. Spotify Discovery Mode's been a huge push for me, but I'm really trying to stay on top of it by continually feeding fuel to the fire, I guess. So I'm really kind of just trying to keep that going. Starting to look into a few other things, like my own distribution network, where I can kind of have a team of people pitching for various editorial playlists on the different DSPs. DSPs being digital streaming provider, I think. So like Spotify, Amazon, Apple, all those guys. Not that I necessarily think that the music would actually work on those platforms, like on the editorial stuff, but we'll see, I guess. It's worth looking into because it can be a huge provider of streams and income. But yeah, that's kind of probably going to be the next few hours of my day. I can't remember if I made a video about this, but these are my Audio-Technica M50Xs, and I got the foam pad replacements recently, so good. They were completely falling apart, but now they look great. Well, it's trying to focus on my head, focus on this. Ooh, wow. It was $25. So worth it. Alright. Filming time. Got some carbonara that I made last night. I don't know if that shows it very well. As I was saying, got carbonara. It's always a vibe. I really like cooking. It's kind of something that's developed quite a lot recently for me. I feel weird eating this on camera. I'm just kind of struggling to figure out what I'm going to include in a daily video. It's just a lot of content that has to go into it. That's alright though. I like the challenge, I think. Challenges are good. So me and Dante, we talk quite a lot, and right now there's quite a big opportunity on TikTok with carousels, which are basically you just upload a series of images. And I think that's because TikTok is trying to create I think they've made it a kind of Twitter or Instagram kind of competitor, where it's image based and text. So I think kind of the current opportunity is that the carousels are getting pushed hard because they're trying to populate data and populate posts for that particular app, TikTok Notes or something. So yeah, right now pretty big opportunity and getting exposure through that, which is pretty cool. And the other song that I finished recently, that's getting released under the project name Cloud Watcher. I don't know, just kind of thought it was cool. But so the idea is on TikTok, I'm just going to post a bunch of carousels, just kind of get vibe images and then just see what happens. It's kind of just a self-indulgent thing. Doesn't really matter if it doesn't work, but I think it's worth a shot. Worst case, it does nothing, but it didn't cost me anything to make since I made it. So I think that is kind of where I'm at right now with promotion. I feel like I probably also need to spend more energy on Incognito Mode promotion, because right now I just kind of plug it into a few playlists that I've got that get streams, and then that kind of triggers algorithms, and off it all goes. So I feel like I need to be a little bit more thoughtful with that stuff and actually make some content, as opposed to just whoo, that's a handball. Yeah. Anyway, those are my thoughts. My brain hurts. I've just been like dealing with sibilance for the past hour, I reckon. It's killing me. Some microphones just don't quite have the same ability to handle high ends of voices, I guess. Well, I mean, I know this, you probably know this as well. So what ends up happening is someone who has like a particularly kind of tone, I guess, in their voice, if they record on certain microphones, that gets really emphasized, or it just doesn't really handle it very well. It doesn't necessarily emphasize it, but it definitely just kind of doesn't help the problem. And then kind of come down the line to mixing, and it's just trying to like handle these spikes, these little resonant harshness. And oh, my head hurts. I somehow I guess I've managed to not have to get something like Soothe, which has been good, because I think a lot of it has just been me trying to figure out how to deal with those kind of problems. But this vocal, don't know if I can do it. Hey, I think I need a plugin like Soothe. Part of the last kind of hour or so that I've spent messing around has been trialing a few alternatives to Soothe, and I can't get Soothe because I had a trial ages ago, but I do remember being very good for this kind of stuff. So I think I'm gonna have to just pull the plug. It's just so much more expensive than the alternatives. It's crazy. Like others are kind of like 150 AU, and Soothe is like 350, which is definitely making me not want to get it. Maybe there'll be a sale soon. I would use it though. Man, music stuff expensive sometimes. That's alright. It's a good tool. Anyway though, just like, my head. It's an interesting position trying to deal with harshness though. Like beyond whether you have like a resonant device, I guess we'll call it, like Soothe. You can either use an EQ and have like a really, really thin Q and just notch it out basically. So say it's like 9K, you just have it there and it's done, it's gone, minus 10, minus 20, just obliterate it. Or you can use like a dynamic EQ, same kind of principle, where you have a really, really thin notch that drops pretty hard, but it's only triggered when certain things kind of hit above it. Benefit of that, I guess, is it's only going to trigger when there's like a problematic frequency, but then it's kind of hard sometimes to dial it in so it hits at the right point. So sometimes you have to just like commit it and just like get rid of everything in that particular band. But yeah, it does result in perhaps a bit of, you just kind of lose something when you do that. And sometimes you have to. Sometimes that's kind of the trade-off, is that you have to lose something to get rid of some of that harshness. But that's hopefully and ideally where a tool like Soothe or Smooth Operator come in and can kind of, you can eat your cake, have your cake and eat it too. So I will continue pondering that, because I need to deal with it. It's usually not a problem. It'll just be the occasional vocal that really like gets you. It's like I can't deal with this one. I mean, I will say I could, all the chance in the world that my ears are just starting to fatigue from today, and I'm kind of hearing a bit more than exists, which can happen. I was mixing a song this morning that I recorded the vocals for and I produced, and I guess the singer was going loud and maybe I just wasn't hearing it at the time, but I've definitely got quite a bit of clipping. It's not clipping, it's like distortion. It doesn't sound bad, but I can't, like, it's committed, you know? I guess kind of what I was saying earlier about it's the benefit of hardware. So I don't have like a clean signal per se. I've got that saturation when she goes loud, which is, I mean, it's cool, but yeah, the problem is if you don't want that, you can't really like get rid of it without doing another recording. I think it's alright, like I think it does work for the song. It's kind of like an 80s inspired track, but I guess yeah, there is that aspect that you're sometimes like, ooh, I can't get rid of this even if I want to. Well, I mean, maybe you can with certain processing, but yeah, I think that's the double-edged sword of committing or not paying attention. Like I probably should have like dialed it back a bit more than I did when I was recording, but sometimes you miss stuff. Well, at least I do. Sometimes you just don't catch those things until after. So that is something that I'll have to kind of think about moving forward. Just making sure I don't get saturation and distortion like when I don't want it. It's the main thing about all this stuff is just you keep learning, make mistakes, and then you move on and you get better. Oh man, I feel gassed. It's not very in tune.